Alright, so while I'm doing the dash and making its single video, I'm going to start pulling apart this core. And I do already know something I gotta fix. That is this. You see how far down that is? It should be about level. Excuse me. So that's a big problem, but I think it ain't nothing more than a little twist to it and it'll get it out. But I had just bought this grill. It's plastic, silver, so I definitely want to take it off, make sure it don't get broken. I want to pull the headlights to make sure they don't get broken, because they're, well, plastic. These are plastic. Pull them, and I want to take this part off, which is the lower, I'm going to call it a valance, but it's not. It's like a lower grill shell. And then I can start working on this rotten mess that's broken garbage. And it's hot, so let's get at it. Well, I basically have this thing took apart, and I don't think I'm going to have to pull off the headlights, but look at these. Does that not look like exactly where a fresh air intake would be? And they're plastic. Both sides blocked off. Why would you do that? So I'm definitely going to be taking this side off, because that'll draw nice, clean, fresh air in to the LS intake, which I'm putting on the passenger side. Sorry, driver's side. Yeah, driver's side. But now comes the fun part. Let's flip this thing up and get a real good look at it. Alright, so you can see where it's broke here. And it comes all the way into here. That's as far as it goes. It's not actually broke, it's a rip. Okay? Which is why, if we take a look right here, you can see that's basically straight. I'm pretty sure you can tell that's not straight. It is going upward quite a bit. So, gonna have to bend it back down somehow and make it straight across. As you can see, here's what's gonna be fun. I can't put a level across it. So, somehow, I'll have to figure this out. But, straight, 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 and then dovetail up. I just noticed something. This is wrinkled. This is wrinkled. So those are going to have to be hammered straight. I'm trying to think here. How can... I was trying to think if I could run like a line level, but it ain't going to work either. I mean, I guess I could. I could run it from this corner, this corner to that corner, and see if it's level. Does that one look straight? I mean, yeah, that one looks straight. You can tell this one's way up. So, that tells me I'm going to have to probably drill all the spot welds out of this and bend it back down after I grind all that out, because it'd be pointless to weld here and not here. So we want all that fixed, and then while that's off would be a good time to fix all of this, which is humped. It's supposed to be like that, but the other core support I got is a newer style and isn't like that. It's flat. So yeah, it's gonna be a nightmare. It's going to be a freaking nightmare. Everything else on here seems fine. That actually bolts on, as I said, and for the life of me, I don't know why, but I want to take it off, and I want to paint the bottom side of that. The rust on there is killing me, though no one will ever see it. Okay? But yeah. So, gonna clean this off the wire wheel real quick. I'm just inspecting a lot of this because I don't want to get a bunch of crap on my dash before I get it all sanded and ready to prime with some high build. So I just want to wire wheel this part just to see where the spot welds are and how big of a pain in the A it's going to be. So today, drilling out spot welds. It sucks. But core support, gotta pull off the bracket. And unfortunately, it's a thick boy. And it's rotten and broke. What else can you do? Let's get at it. Hardest part about drilling out spot welds is finding all them stupid things. Well, luckily on this, there's not many parts it's connected to. So, one here, a couple here, one there. There might be one in there somewhere. That's one for sure. Two on here, and a couple down through here. But I've used this bit right here many time. This is the best spot weld bit you can get. Them other ones that have like the round cutters, they suck. Really? How many spot welds do you need? Jeez. I still ain't found them all. Gosh, it's gonna be Swiss cheese by the time I'm done. This is ridiculous. They're everywhere. Oh boy, finally. Look at that Swiss cheese. It's freaking everywhere. I actually stripped the piece right there, so I'm trying to just pop it free now. Come on. You can do it. I'll allow it. Alright. That's gonna have to be reused, of course. Now, all of this stuff, I guess I didn't get that weld that good. But all this stuff will get hammered back flat for when I put that piece back on. But as for now, that took away all the structure that was holding this piece from bending back straight, which, if you can tell, it's quite a bit up. So what I'm going to do now is take my cutoff wheel and I'm going to cut all this out to relieve the pressure on it to make it easier to bend back down. And it's a nice, 90 degrees out here. I am sweating down, all my jellies sweating, but gotta get it done. Alright, I'm going to try to show you what I'm going to do here. I'm using this level. Now, I'm not using the actual bubble, I'm just using the edge of it because it's straight. Alright. So, if I come down here and I run straight on that edge, like that, whoop! Yeah, it's bent way up. I sort of figured this was a problem, and the reason being was my hood and stuff never shut right, and it's sort of off, so it's definitely this bent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to try to find a way to lay it flat on this table, put something under here at the brace point, and then push down at this point to bend it back straight. Now it's off about 1.5 inches. That's a lot of pressure I'm going to have to put on it. Now, the bad part is all of this being bad has to get cut off from here. And it's spot welded through here because it's a double walled piece. The back, which you can see right there, is not even holding anything. It's completely rotten. But it's what's got to be done. And when I go to put that other structure back on after I get it bent down, I'll definitely hit all of this with some rust converter and bender all nice and straight. Whew. I'm hot. It's yeah, it's gonna be pretty hard. I think the hardest part's just the bend. This stuff right here is pretty easy. Actually, now that I feel that back there, is it just double walled all the way? Yeah, it's just double walled all the way. So Gonna have to cut that one off. Probably, I want to say first, but probably not, because I need it to stay structural. If that sounds special needs, but I want it to stay good and strong to where I'm not just pushing this top piece and not pushing the bottom piece. So I'm gonna have to leave this on, bend it, weld it, then cut it out all the way here. And the other one doesn't have this crease in it, so I'm probably going to be just welding flat from right here. I know in my mind it's like, it's not flat. This side's bent. That side's going to be flat. It's going to look hodgepodge, but really there's nothing you can do. I can't use the other core. Gosh, you can really see how bent up that is. Look at that. Let me hold it to you. Hold you straight on. And bring it out. Yeah. That kicks up a ton. But I don't know. I'm thinking about calling it already for the day. I am sweating down. Alright, so I basically got this thing jigged up and we're close to having it bent back straight. Gosh. Sorry, sweating my eye. It's super hot. But I'm gonna flip you around here and show you the nightmare of stuff I've got made. So I have the one clamp. Yes, these are woodworking clamps, but guess what? You use them on metal, they become metalworking clamps. Got my stuff clamped in. One clamp down there just to keep it from flipping up. And these two right now are pressing down. Now, before I showed it to you, it had probably a good 2 inches. I've got it down quite a bit now to the point where, like maybe at the far end, let me see if I can get it close. Yeah, we might be a 1/2 inch, maybe, yeah, 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch out. And it's simply, I tighten one. When the other one gets loose, I pull it off, continue tightening, sorry, I got hair in my mouth. Tighten it, pull the other clamp off, screw it down some more, switch to the other one, screw it down some more, until I get there. But now I've hit the snag on where all of this is compressing together, and it won't go anymore because it's touching. So now, got to get the cutoff wheel back out, and cut that straight down through there. Hit it with the old wah, you know, and then I can continue clamp and press. Clamp and press. Just keep clamping, pressing. I did find something funny though. I wonder how long this light has been pointing passenger, because it's not connected to anything over here. That could have happened when I was slamming it around, getting it on the table. But let's do some cutting, and I'll do some more squeeze clamping. Alright, let's get a little welding here. Might have that thing turned up just a tad bit too high. It's a big gap. It's Gapplebees. Alright, I'm going to finish welding this now. How hot? Alright. Just remember, while you're welding anything, you can sing that little song in your head. I've got them welding eyes. Nothing between you and I. Alright, I got her welded. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to let her cool completely. And the reason I'm going to do that is because this heat can cause this to warp. So, if I let it cool and it's welded into place, it'll be good. Then I can flip it over, weld it from the back side as much as I possibly can, because there's a humpy dumpy here. And once it's welded on the back side, I'll grind the front side here, bottom side, whatever side, here, down, so that way I can start putting my plate back on. But I'll probably actually fix this whole bottom edge first. But it didn't move so far. I'm going to let it cool. Because when stuff's hot, it gets all crazy. I guess I can come back tomorrow. Alright, here we go, hose. Booyah! Booyah! Still straight, it's unclamped. Fix that. Now all I gotta do is flip it, weld the back side. Then after that, I gotta cut this out and then go pick up your mother. Alright, so we got it all cut out on the bottom here. We got everything cleaned up here. And we got the bracket cleaned up. And a little bit of retirement news. My 5-year-old Wally World gloves here are getting replaced. In fact, Mark, who we just built the big green thing for, videos will be coming out soon. You'll see that. It's a big, I don't know what year it is. I keep saying 42, it could be 52 Dodge Carry-All. But he gave me them gloves because he was tired of seeing these. So there you go, Mark. Retired. They're going in the garbage. I'll use your gloves now. Which I actually think these might be Finnegan Garage gloves, which would be sweet. But I'm getting ready to hit all of this stuff. This is the bracket that goes, which way does it go? It goes like this. Goes here. All of this is getting ready to get put in rust converter. So that way all this is good and covered. And I already cut this out ready for the new bottom off the other one to come in. Yes, I know this is a little bit rotty. This isn't rot, this is where I was chiseling it off. You know, pokes through. It's a little thin, but when I get the new piece on, I'll be welding it all anyway, so that'll go down. And again, I just use this stuff. It works pretty good. It actually covers rust. I still wire brush it, but it does actually go away. Like, not go away, but gets covered and converted. So, well, I'll use this on everything raw, everything rust. And then, when you go to weld, just hit your holes again with your drill bit. You know, because it's got to go back where them spot welds are, in my case. And when I cut this out, it didn't bend back up. It stayed nice and true. So everything's good. It was just this crack right here and bent up. So I'll convert all the way over to here because it's all going to get painted. Well, not painted, but it's all going to get blacked out. The backside looks like that. That will get painted too because I hate how it looks. But that's where we're at right now. It's real hot. It's like 90 degrees. I don't know what it is right now. Let's see here. According to this, it's like 89 degrees. Very humid because some of the humidity from the old Louisiana hurricane that's like crazy right now is coming through. So we'll be getting some rain tomorrow from it and for the rest of the week probably. But for now, let's do car stuff. Who cares about the weather? Sorry if I'm jiggling. I'm shaking the can. Get a little pre-spray out of it. And again, this is not paint. This is converter. Do not use it like paint because it is not paint. This still needs to be covered. And I do lay it on there pretty thick. I'm not worried about that weld. It's going to be covered by that plate. Nobody will ever see it. Shh. So all this over here, that still needs some bending on, but try not to get it all over my headlights. And then this entire bracket. Now, I'm not going to worry about it drying all the way. I'm just going to flip her over here. Do the other side too. And now, considering everywhere is sold out of paint right now, for obvious reasons, Joe Biden, you suck. Gonna let this dry, and this is what I'm going to continue working on a little bit later. This is how I prefer to start any kind of, rebuild of things. All of these screws that you see are actually sheet metal stud screws. I have them. They're free. Use them. In fact, there's a giant tub of them over on the other side of the oil. So I'll start with them. Self-tapping. Tap them in. Get it lined up. Clamp it. And then you can start welding some spots. Now, what I look for is tightness. You see how close that hole is? See how close this hole is? These are all the way touching. So that one, that one, that one, and that one will be my first welds. And then from that point, we'll start taking the sheet metal screws out. And we'll start manipulating the metal that's around that. Like this one. You can see it's pretty far, but it's a tab, which you can't see, but there's a tab back there that I can clamp together and pull it tighter. Then I'll weld it. Now, things like these over here, I might have to hammer it out this way, or I might have to hammer it in. So, I mean, it's all how it goes. Like these are pretty close right now. So, and I don't mind blowing through with, like, when I'm drilling them out. I think it welds better if I have to melt around it and then fill it in. It gets stronger. This weld will never be seen, so stop looking at it. But the rest of them, they'll come together pretty easy. So I'm going to tack these in now. So I basically have it welded. And I'm going to invite you to come along for this last little tack here. Or shall I say fillet weld. Go slow at first. Then start hammering down. See? Fillet. They're all full now. Top, bottom, side to side. Everything's full. Yep, all done with the plate now. And that's all of your structure, just like this one. And it's got a perfect hole. That hole's perfect, but I'm not sticking my finger in it because it's really hot, just like them vice grips are. Whew, hot, okay. So, now, while it's still hot, I'm going to blast it with some rust reformer because it's going to bake it in there. Just like some powder coating. Now, unfortunately, I can't get behind it, but that's why I painted it all first. So, 90% of it will be covered. There we go. That spot's done. Take it one piece at a time. So now when I bolt this thing back on, core will be straight, this hole straight, that hole straight. All of the rust on this side's gone. I'll clean up that side and spray it and call it a night because it's hot. And it's super hot when you're doing welding. So, turn my gas off, can't forget that. Drip sweat all over my phone. And be done with it. Alrighty, we got our little patch panel here. Cut it off of this one. Yes, this is completely different. This is a 81 and up. This is a 70, or I'm sorry, an 80 back. So they have different front ends, as you can see that notch right there. That's not on here. This one is flat. Very, very flat. So, cut it. Got it all in black rust coating. We're going to start getting it set up. Weld it in. Okay, we got it tacked in. Now over here it overlaps. I don't care, that's fine because it's still actually, you know, lower than that point. This lip I bent out a little bit. Though it doesn't have the folds of that one, it is still going to bolt up where I want it to. This back lip back here is touching, so I can weld it down through there. Good and strong. I will weld this gap up here. Probably can't do squat about that unless I just make a little filler for it. It's not that important. Ugh. But, I'm going to blaze this in right here. Flip it over, blaze in the back side. This core support will be ready to go back on. Not really. I gotta strip a lot of this rust off here. I'm gonna tape up all that blue and that chrome, and I'm gonna paint everything front and back oil-based black. And that finishes up that side. Now I just gotta flip it over and pinch it together and do the back side. I am burning down hot. Let's flip it. Oh, well, I'm actually gonna hit this with this 90-degree die grinder with a 36 grit flap disc. Clean all that up as much as possible, then flip it. Alright, so here's the back side of the other side. This is the side I just fixed. The other side. So now I'm going to put some strategic welds through here. Try to not burn all the way through all this stuff that isn't perfect, but I mean, if I wanted it perfect, I'd replace the whole thing. But I'm going to weld up through here a little bit. Weld this on the top side a little bit more. Weld down through here. Hit it all in the rust converter, and we'll call the core support done. And straight again. There she is, welded, rust converted, ready to go. She is closely resembled the other side. Very closely. But that part's done. I'm going to pull out all these screws. I need to pull my headlights completely out, and then I'll tape that up there off. I want to pull these bolts here and drop this whole piece and paint it all body color, and then have this start the black. But I pulled them out, bolts break, clips break. I don't even know if that's clips in there. It might have them, yeah, it's got the nuts on the bottom. So them could break, and then I'll be screwed. So for now, we're going to leave it like this. I'm going to call it a night. Tomorrow, I'll be getting this baby back up in the air, putting the spider gears in, getting that mini spool out of there, putting the new shocks on. There's a bunch of other stuff. I'm going to try to test fit the drive shaft, because I'll probably have to cut it. But other than that, it's moving right along. Actually, these are bolted in there too, I just seen. Yeah, them are not even in all the way. I'm calling it. It's hot.